Like myself, I'm sure you've been inundated with emails from every possible company imaginable with COVID-19 in the title this past week. I'm Keith from the Walker team of Intero. Since we're a week into this pandemic, I want to touch on how our real estate market has been affected here in Silicon Valley while we live with a shelter-in-place order. My apologies for not getting this out sooner, but there have been changes daily, and I have literally had to rewrite significant parts of this video continuously. Today, I'm just going with everything we know right now. Of course, by the time you watch this, I'm sure there's probably going to be more changes. The biggest obstacle in this market is uncertainty and the fear that it causes. Let's touch on the facts as to what is actually happening as this video is being filmed. The mortgage industry. If you've been paying attention this week, mortgage rates are all over the place. They are still historically low. I wish interest rates were this low when I bought my first home, but there's been some volatility. This has mainly affected the high-risk loans and alternative loans. If you're still in a position to put down 20% and have a good credit score, you'll be largely unaffected. Based on the profile of most of the home buyers in the Silicon Valley, this would indeed be the case. Employment becomes the next item at hand. In certain industries, there's going to be lots of people who will not be working or working a lot less. The service industries will probably be hit the hardest. Most of our area local buyers tend to be in the tech industry, and many of those companies, such as Apple, have already made preparations for an upcoming recession starting last year to avoid issues like what happened in 2008. Many of those companies realize that it's more expensive to let people go and hire them back later, so they've actually squirreled some money away. How has the shelter-in-place order affected us in the Bay Area, as we were the very first area to be placed with this restriction? As you may know, new real estate sales are considered non-essential activities. This means that both open houses and private showings are not allowed under the current restrictions. On Tuesday, March 24th, representatives from the California Association of Realtors actually met with the governor to discuss the next steps as it relates to an industry that has so much impact on the U.S. economy. We'll keep you updated on what transpires from that meeting. Now let's talk about the hard numbers in sales over the beginning of 2020. In January, we had 955 new listings. February had 1,273 new listings. And as of March 24th, we had 1,041 new listings. Projected over a full month, that would be 1,340 new listings, up 5.6% from the previous month. As far as home sales, January had 736, February 932, and as of March 24th, there were 738. Once again, projected, that would be 953, up 2% from the previous month. Closed sales in January were 624, February 753, and through March 24th, 692. Once again, projected, that would be 894, up 18.7% from the previous month. If we focus on just the 2 days at the beginning of the week, the first week without open houses or private showings, there's a really interesting statistic. We've seen 60 new listings, 34 new pending sales, and 41 more closings. If you projected that number over a full month, we would see the activity is still pacing at over 50% of the yearly averages so far, without people even being able to technically go into a house. As a matter of fact, as a team, we were involved in multiple offers more than once this past week. So why is this market staying relatively active despite this perceived large obstacle out there? That truly is the question, isn't it? In Silicon Valley, in 2020, we've been witnessing the hottest market in years with pent-up demand and multiple offers all over the place. We're also in the prime of the selling season as 33% of all of the annual sales happen in the second quarter. There's still people that have to buy and sell despite the extraordinary circumstances. What happens once we get through this pandemic? We will get through it. We always do. As a species, we're strong, and as a country, we're resilient. Inman News just published an article discussing the international real estate market in areas that are ahead of us in the spread of the pandemic. The article stated that the real estate markets paused for about 4 to 6 weeks, and then they're expected to pick back up to previous levels in just 4 to 6 weeks. Interest rates are at an all-time low. Demand is high. Inventory is at all-time low. History tells us that people who put off buying and selling during the pandemic will come right back into the market. What do you think is going to happen after we weather this storm? A little bit of my opinion, backed by several top economists, this event is similar to the unfortunate events of 9/11 when people lived in fear of leaving their household. It's not like 2008 when there was a mortgage collapse and real estate was the main factor in that recession. The pause button's been pushed. The play button is waiting. I completely understand if you're in a position that real estate is not important to you right now, and I 100% support that decision. However, if you are in a position that you have to buy or sell, or simply choose to during this time, I am here to answer your questions as they pertain to your particular situation. Within the week, we'll share a couple of videos answering how we are safely and effectively helping those that have to buy and sell now, and also answering your real-time questions on Facebook Live this upcoming Monday as they pertain to the ever-changing real estate market. Thank you for your time today. Stay healthy and safe, my friends. Take care. Bye-bye.